Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you for tuning in. Give a shout out to LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. Happy Friday. I am Stephanie A. Wynn. I will be talking about this morning, and I think my my camera is a little bit dark this morning. I don't know what's going on, but we're gonna get started, right? So today I want to talk about and I hope you all can hear me. If you're tuning in from LinkedIn, give me a thumbs up. If you're tuning in from Facebook, give me a thumbs up. And if you're tuning in from YouTube, give me a thumbs up. So, if I'm new to your timeline, again, I'm Stephanie A. Wynn, and we are going to be talking about how to plan for a successful career as an author. A lot of times, I get a lot of inquiries about, like, Stephanie, what's next? What can I do with my book? Where can I go with my book? And it's not that we can't, as authors, we can't go further than outside of the book sales. It's just that we just don't know how. So today I'm going to talk about how. I'm going to talk about the how today, right? So again, welcome. Thank you for tuning in. I know it's early. But the early bird gets the worm. So grab your pen, grab your paper, and I'm going to start. So I'm excited. So again, if you're tuning in from LinkedIn, thank you all for tuning in. If you're tuning in from Facebook, thank you all. Hello. And YouTube, hello. So let's get right into it. And ready. Let's see. Happy Friday. I'm so glad it's Friday. Are you glad it's Friday? Yeah. Yes. It's going to be a great day. Today is going to be a great day. You got to tell yourself that today is going to be a great day. No matter what you're up against, it's going to be a great day. Okay. So I am ready. So here's what we're going to talk about today again: how to plan for a successful career as an author. And the reason why I want to talk about this again, out for those that are just now tuning in, sometimes some authors they just want to be authors, right? They just want to sell their book. But there's those other authors that are creatives. Well, we're all creatives, but you want to take it a little bit further than the book sale. So I'm going to share these tips with you. So a little bit about me. My name is Stephanie. I started my very first business at the age of 23 and was the youngest woman of color in my city to have an ice cream shop. And it was amazing. That was where I first learned about entrepreneurship. It was amazing. Now, did I was I scared? Absolutely. Um, did I have a point of reference? No, at all. But this ice cream shop allowed me to. That's what propelled me and um, allowed me to write my very first book, which is Ready, Set, Go: A Simple Guide to Establishing a Successful Small Business, which I co-authored with Jeffrey White. Now, my purpose, my passion is to help authors and entrepreneurs get clarity on their ideal customers and build their business brand by providing business development strategies that generates revenue. So that's a little bit about me in a nutshell, but I'm an avid reader. I love to read and I love to help those who are less fortunate, and and I love all things author marketing. So marketing is like, that's something that it's a gift. You either have it or you don't. And even if you don't have it, it's not hard like we think it is. It's not, I promise. So let's get into tip number one. Before you could build this career as a successful career as an author, you got to know, what is your why? Like, why are you writing this book? And this needs to be done before you actually start promoting and, doing advertising and getting out here. You need to ask yourself, like, what is your why? Why are you doing this very thing? Like, why? Do you know why you're doing this very thing? And I think sometimes we're so excited about the book. We're so excited about, oh, I got this book in my hand. what is my why? And so you have to ask yourself that before we could build a career, right? That's just like with a job. If you're looking for a job, for my people who are in corporate America, or you have a corporate job, or you have a job, you have to know what is your why. Some people whys are their family, their friends. Um, they want to go on this journey of going up the corporate ladder. You have to know your why, and I think once you figure out your why, um, then you can start planning. Now, let me tell you what my why was when I was writing my book. My why was to get this book in as many hands as I possibly could, because I knew that there's someone out here who needs help starting a business, right? And they just need a simple guide. They just didn't need all the paperwork. They needed something simple to get them from point A, B to C. And so that was the purpose behind why I was writing this book. I was getting inundated with questions. Stephanie, how did you start your ice cream shop? Can you help me? I remember you had the ice cream shop. That ice cream was so good. What did you do? How did you do it? Was it hard? Did you? And I'm going to say this for those in the back who are listening. Anything that you do is going to require two things. And that's effort and time. I think a lot of times we get so consumed with something quick and fast. Let me get a little bit closer because I want to make sure y'all understand. Anything that you do is going to require effort and time. Don't rush it. You have to go through the process. And that, my friends, is what I really want my author community to understand. There is a process. Even if you have a publisher, there's still a process. Does that make sense? That makes sense. Hashtag makes sense in the comments for me. Okay, so before you can build this career as an author, you got to know why you're doing it. Why am I doing this? Why would I want to build a career as an author? Some people just want to write the book, put their name on it for notoriety purposes. But we're going to get into that. Okay, so you got to know what your why is. Why are you doing this very thing? So, is it for notoriety purposes? Let's talk about that. Are you writing this book for notoriety purposes? Or are you building this career for notoriety purposes, right? Or are you building this author career to make a difference in the lives of others? Some are, some not. So what do I mean by that? You may say, well, Stephanie, what do you mean by that? Well, I mean, like, are you just writing this book so that people will be transformed when they read? They'll start out one way, but after they finish writing this book, you're really going to make impact. They're really going to after they read your book, they're going to get up and want to do something. So example, Ready, Set, Go was written to make the start their business. Does that make sense? So that's what I'm saying. What is your why? Why are you doing this? What are you gonna do? You're gonna make a difference in the lives of others? Are you going to, maybe this is just for hobby purposes? Again, notoriety. And then thirdly, is it because you're gonna start a business? You're gonna take this book, you're gonna leverage this book, and you're gonna start a business, right? And a lot of authors do that. And I'm gonna get to how you can build this career, right? So again, ask yourself these questions. Am I building this author career for notoriety purposes? Just to say that, hey, I am this influencer. You can do that. Or just to put your name on something, right? Or two, you truly are passionate about what you do. This is a purpose driven. I'm going to make a difference in the lives of the people, right? I'm going to change some lives. Or you're going to start a business. Now, it could be both. It could be all three. But I'm just saying, choose one. So again, think about that as you're building your career as this author, right? Okay, let's keep moving. Number 2, Before you build or plan your career as an author, have you asked yourself, I want to get close on this one, what are the goals or plans for the book? Like, what are the goals and plans for this book? Have you asked yourself that? Oftentimes, we're so busy writing, like we're on the keyboard, we're just writing. We're writing. I mean, we're going in writing, right? We're typing. But we're not asking ourselves, okay, what is my plan for this book? Some may say, I want to sell 1 million copies, 200 copies, 3 million copies, 7 million copies, right? And then you break down the numbers from there. Okay, that equates to how many books per month. I want to sell 1 million copies in a year, right? I'm not saying it can't be done, but guess what? You got to have a plan for the book. And when I wrote Ready, Set, Go, I wrote out a business plan for this book because I wanted more than just to be on Amazon. There's nothing wrong with being on Amazon, but that wasn't I wasn't like gung-ho about being Amazon #1 bestseller because I wanted more for that. I wanted more. Now my intentions were to impact and empower people who wanted to start a business. So again, what are the plans and what are the goals for the book? What are they? Do you have goals for your book? And we're going to get right into that, right? So let's talk about the goals for the book. So before we plan these goals, right? The goal, have a plan. You got to know who your ideal reader audience is, right? You got to know who that is going to be, that and your target audience, ideal reader, avatar, all the same, right? You need to know that before you start building a career as an author. Oftentimes I see a lot of authors, they market to everybody. And sometimes what happens is we get burnt out because after we've sold to our friends and family, guess what? And the buzz died down, then we get frustrated. And then our book, it dies, right? I'm not saying physically die, but it goes dormant. You don't promote it, you don't keep it fresh or top of mind for your audience, right? So now you also have to have a marketing plan for the book. What is your marketing strategy? Do you have marketing strategy? What's the marketing plan? As you're planning your goals for the book, maybe you say, okay, for a year, I am going to go on a book tour. I'm going to create brand awareness. So you got to create the brand first. I think Kevin Hart said that in Forbes. They asked him, what is one thing you could tell entrepreneurs to do first? And he said, build the brand first. Let me tell you something. I don't care what anybody tell you about books or any business. If nobody knows who you are, nobody's buying what you're selling. I'm just saying. Same thing with a book. If nobody knows that you've written this book and your book is out here, nobody's buying. And even after you've sold your book to your friends and family, what is the plan for the book? You see, this is what I was saying. I posted a motivational post yesterday, and I talked about the naysayers. You have to plan for this book. If this is something that you're going to do to change lives, or even if it's just to let people know that you have this book, you still have to have some type of plan. You still have to have some type of goals. Does that make sense? Like you got to have these you have to have these goals, you have to have these plans. And it starts with knowing who your ideal reader audience is, knowing who the people are, right? Got to know who the people are. Your reader audience, these are the people who are most interested in buying into what you're selling. your book, right? And once you build this marketing plan for the book, right? And those authors that are watching, or aspiring authors, I ask you, I challenge you today. Do you have a marketing plan for your book? Do you have a marketing strategy? Do you have goals for this book? If you do, drop some comments. Excuse me. Drop some comments. I want to hear from you. That's good. If you don't, some people don't know where to start. They don't know how to create a marketing plan for their book, right? A lot of people are afraid of the word marketing because over the years it has been complex. Now I'm going to say this again. It will require two things from you, and that is effort and time. That is effort and time. You have to research the people who are most likely to be interested in your book to even build anything. Just saying. So you got to know who your ideal reader is or your ideal customer. So you turn your ideal readers into customers if you're building this successful career as an author, right? Then you have to have a marketing strategy. So it goes back to, what are your goals and plans for the book? You got to have goals. All of us, every one of us have goals. Every year you have goals. There's something that you want to accomplish regarding your book every year. You got to have that. I'm just saying. It's like a roadmap. If we don't have a plan for the book, where are we going? Nowhere fast. We're lost. So, number 3, do you have a distribution plan for your book? Now, again, some of us upload our books to Amazon, which is Kindle, KDP. Some of us upload our books to Ingram Spark, right? But what other distribution outlet do you have? Are you fulfilling your orders on your website? I'm just saying, that's an option. That's an option. You know, you get author copies, you fulfill your orders that way. So let's just say there's an organization that wants to purchase your book in bulk. They want to purchase 200 books. Like, do you have a distribution plan for that? Again, all of this should be in your goals, your marketing plan. All of this need to be included in that. I'm just saying, we gotta start thinking not just book sales, but bigger than that. Like, you gotta think massive. Like, God can't do anything with small thinking. You gotta think massive. So I'm just saying, you gotta have a plan. You gotta have goals for the book. And a lot of people, they don't. I know for a fact, many authors don't have business plans for their book. They just don't. They didn't even think about it. Being an author is a business. Well, just know that when you get that 1099 from KDP or Ingram, you got to pay royalty payments on those. Right. Yeah. Think about that. So if you're going to, and I'm not saying that it has to be it could be a 1-page marketing plan. That's it. Okay. Now, number 3, I'm going to get into the juice and meat of everything. This is what you will need to build a successful career. I'm going to just show you, like, some people may be saying, well, Stephanie, what kind of career can you build as an author? I mean, you've given us a plan of what we could do, what we need to do, but how can you build a career as a successful author? Right? I'm sorry, successful career as an author. So I'm going to show you. It's early, but guess what? Early bird gets the worm. Yes. Yes, they do. All right. So here's how you can be successful as an author, right? You can focus strictly on book sales. Some authors just focus strictly on the book sales. Just saying. If you're tuning in from LinkedIn, thank you for tuning in this morning. Tuning in from Facebook, hello, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. So think about it. Think about it. Give a shout out. Kim, good morning. Good morning, Kim from the DMV. Good morning. Sharonda, good morning, good morning. So here are three things that you can do at build a successful career as an author. You can focus strictly on the book sales because most authors, they really like, the book sales, you know. So if that's your thing, like for that author that says, hey, I want to only focus on, let me get close to y'all. For the author that says, I only want to focus on book sales because my goal is to sell 1 million copies of my book, right? Good morning, Latasha. Thank you for tuning in. I only want to focus on 1 million copies of my book sales only. That's perfect. Now, remember, these are the successful careers that you can create as an author, right? Successful author, right? So that's number one. Number two, you could start a coaching business as an author. Start a coaching business. Most authors are coaches. Just saying. I'm just saying. What is it that you want to do with this book again? Remember, number one, I asked you, what is your why? Why did you write this book? For my authors who are already published. For my authors out here who are already published authors, why did you write the book? What was the purpose of you writing this book? Again, we go back to the beginning. You got to know your why to get to this. So if your why to get to this is to transform people, build people up, then maybe you want to think about being a coach. I want them to be, transformed. I want them to be renewed. Whatever it is, maybe you want to be a coach. And if you're going to be a coach, then again, I'm going to go back to, you need to have a marketing strategy. You need to have a plan. You need to know who your ideal customer, your ideal reader. Now, when you're doing book sales, if you're strictly focusing on book sales, then you'll focus on your ideal reader. Now, once they've purchased your book and now you're going into coaching, then now you're going to convert these people that have purchased your book possibly into coaching clients. Does that make sense? All right. Give a shout out to all my Facebook people who are tuning in. Good morning. Good morning. So again, you got to ask yourself, what is my why? I'm just going to focus on book sales. I'm going to sell these 1 million copies of this book, and I'm determined. Master P sold his books out of the trunk of his car. And before I became an author, I thought that was the most amazing thing. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, he is hustling. Not hustling in a bad way, but once you publish a book and you get into this publishing industry and this book distribution industry, I mean, it's a whole beast out here. And if it's just like, it's listen, I remember someone telling me like the business industry is like a cartel. I mean, it would chew you up and spit you out. So if you don't know what your why is, you better learn now. You gotta learn what your why is. So again, you're gonna focus strictly on book sales. That's fine, but you still gotta have a plan. You still gotta have a plan. If you're focusing on strictly on book sales, you still gotta have a plan. Secondly, if you want to start a coaching business, you still have to have a plan, right? And you got to have a plan before you start selling. For my aspiring authors who aspire to write a book, a journal, a planner, whatever you aspire to write, or a digital product, an ebook, you have to ask yourself, like, how far do I want to take this? How far do I want to take this? Good morning, Talisha. Thank you for tuning in. How far do I want to take this? And then, lastly, are you using this book so that you could start a speaking business? Most authors either have been speaking before, have some type of speaking experience. But let's talk about my author friends who have no speaking experience or haven't been paid as speakers, or their goal is to become a paid speaker. You still got to have a plan. Still got to have a plan. You have the marketing strategy. You got to have a plan for this, right? All of these things can work for you. You can do all three of these things. You could be an author speaker, author coach, author teacher, author consultant, but you have to ask yourself, which one am I? How am I going to do this? What is it going to take for me to become these three things? So if your focus is solely on book sales, okay, who are you going to be selling to besides? Now, I'm going to say this. There's nothing wrong with individual book sales at all. So for my authors who are strictly selling books, again, you got to have a strategy. You got to have a strategy. You must have a strategy to that. Who are you going to sell it to? Are you going to sell these books in bulk? Because if you sell the book in bulk, then you're going to meet your numbers quick. So if it's 1 million copies, maybe it's 100,000 copies. You can sell it in bulk, right? So again, even as a self-published author, stop worrying about like, oh, I'm just a self-published author. I could never, why would somebody want to buy from me? Well, if you don't believe in your book, nobody else will. Just saying, we got to get rid of the imposter syndrome. We got to get rid of that lack of confidence, because that's all it is. It's just a lack of self-esteem, lack of confidence. You got to stop comparing yourself to others. You're not going to ever be like them. They'll never be like you. So let's get to the business, which is focusing on your why. Why did you write this book? And where do you want to go with this book? Now, I'm not saying there's no competition out there. You know, I get it. People are doing more than what you're doing. If you find someone who you like their brand, you like the way they conduct themselves, maybe serve them or buy them a cup of coffee and ask them, hey, is there a way I can sit down with you and go over some things? I have some questions. Don't be afraid. I mean, sometimes we don't know what we don't know. So sometimes you have to get in the room, but before you get in the room with them, don't just ask them, serve them first. Remember, it's all about being a servant. We got to serve other people first before you get in their DMs and ask them, hey, can you do this for me for free? Serve people first, right? So I know that was off a little tangent, but I want to just say that because sometimes we're so excited about what it is that we're trying to do. And again, you got to believe in yourself. So if you're going to focus strictly on book sales, that's fine. If you're going to start a coaching business, that's also fine. If you're going to start a speaking business, that's fine as well. Some of you are teachers there are teachers who are authors. Maybe you're in the school system, right? If you're a principal, excuse me, you're an administrator, you're principal, you have these books and you want to take these books, and maybe your book is about self-esteem. Maybe your book is about building confidence. Maybe your book is about social skills, building social skills, right? Whatever your book is about, and you want to go and teach that to these children, or you want to build a program around your book, then do that. But you still have to have a plan to get to where you're trying to go. Does that make sense, everybody? If this makes sense, please hashtag make sense. Put the hashtag make sense in the comments. So, which is going to lead me to my next thing. Yesterday I posted about, it doesn't matter what people say, right? For those of you who have written a book or are writing a book, you're not getting the support that you need. You feel like, nobody's going to buy my book, or, my family doesn't support me. That's fine. Listen, that's not their journey. This is not their journey. If your goal is to write a book and to be successful as an author, we're writing this book, right? To build on this book, to leverage this book to start your business, to start a coaching business, to start a speaking business, to start a consulting business. I'm just saying, do it. And you can't worry about if nobody else supports you. You have to continue to move forward, because what you don't want to do is not do anything and then years go by and you regret, wow, I should have done this. See, time will do one or two things. It will promote you or demote you. So I know it's a little bit early, and I know, what is today, the 22nd of July? Gosh, can you believe that? Oh my goodness, can you believe that? So it's the 22nd of July, and we have work to do. So if you need help building your author brand, if you need help with taking your book and leveraging your book, I want to invite you to my workshop that I'm having next month. How I turned my $20 book into a 5-figure business. It's an author workshop. And I'm a firm believer, like, you have to have, I saw further than just the book sales. Yesterday when I posted, I remember pitching, I was so excited about my book. Oh, I want to get my book in this bookstore locally here. And they shot me down. They told me no. They said that my book wasn't even worth getting into the bookstores. Was so hurt my feelings. I was so hurt. My feelings was hurt. But what I did not do, I didn't give up. I did not give up. So August the 16th at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will be hosting a free author workshop. It is how I turned my $20 book into a 5-figure business. I don't like to say 6 figures, because 6 figures, some people are not ready for 6 figures right now. I'll leave that to the other people. 6 figures, you really have to be ready. So I'm that person who is going to teach you step by step of how you could take this very thing that you worked so hard for and turn it into a 5-figure business. So if you wanted to become that author coach, that author speaker, that author consultant, I'm giving you the free tools. They're free. And let me put the banner across the thing. The banner is going across. Good morning, Dee. Thank you for tuning in. Miss D. Shout out to D Wilkins. So again, if you want to be better or be great, remember, it starts with a plan, and it's going to require 2 things from you. 2 things. And those 2 things, my friends, it is effort and time. It's effort and time. We have to really stand back and think about, had I just taken my time and just made a plan for myself, for my book, my brand, or my business, I will be so much further. So again, this workshop takes place August the 16th at 6 p.m. At 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It will not be on Facebook. It will be via Zoom. So grab your seat. If you know someone who's aspiring author or has published a book and now they've sold to all of their friends, you need to be in the building, because guess what? It's more to just a $20 book. Nobody told me that. But my goal is to make a difference in the lives of these startups. And startups, a lot of people don't. I'm going to say this. A lot of businesses do not like to deal with the startup because the startup is so needy. The startup is so needy because there's no point of reference. And what do I mean by that? I mean that they go to these events, they send them off with all these papers. People don't like to read. I'm just telling you that right now. Not everybody. I love reading. I read 2 books a week, try to at least. But a lot of people don't like to read. They want information to be broken down simplistically. Because think about it. You're already if you're in corporate America, you're already high level. People, you high level, you corporate, you got to stay high level. People want simplistic things that they can go and take and use right away. So think about that as you're building your career as an author. Who do I want to impact? How do I want to impact them? Dee said you got to start somewhere. Absolutely. So again, startups are so needy because they need step by step by step. And a lot of businesses, they don't want to deal with that. And I get it. I totally get it. But if you could teach your community how to fish, they'll never go hungry. They'll never go hungry. They'll always have something to eat. And we have to start teaching our community, whether it's the startup, whether you focus on coaches, whether you focus on consultants, maybe you focus on executives. You have to find your tribe of people, your community of people, and you have to stand on it and believe in it, right? Not everybody's going to like what you're doing, but you have to keep going. You have to keep going. People, it's going to be a lot of naysayers. You got to keep going. I was told when I was going through the publishing process, I was told you might sell 200 books because publishing a book is just a crap shot. Like it's not even worth it. Yeah, you might. So if you want to be great, you're going to have to do things that ordinary people are not willing to do. So you have to get up early. You may have to get up an hour early. You may have to, on the weekend, instead of brunching, you're brainstorming about this author business, right? Instead of Netflixing, okay, we writing a business plan. Hi, Teresa. Teresa said I will be there August 16th. Thank you, Stephanie. You're welcome. So I'm simply saying, and even my friends, my friends, I call them my business besties. They saw, and a lot of people saw what I went through, right? So again, D. Wilkins said, and where are those naysayers today watching your success? Right. And again, you got to believe in yourself. I'm going to leave you all with this. This is just a Friday morning motivational tip, right? You got to ask yourself, what is my why? What is my why? Why am I doing this very thing? Why did I publish this book? Why am I going through the publishing process? What are my goals for this book? Is my goal to just write the book for notoriety purposes? Or is my goal to really make a difference in the lives of other people, right? Again, you got to ask yourself these questions before you could build this author brand as a successful career. So if it's for notoriety purposes, that's cool. That's fine. If it's to truly make a difference in the lives of people, a community of people, maybe it's children, maybe it's women that suffer from domestic violence, maybe, that were victims of domestic violence. Maybe it's for, lawyers who are coming out of law school, and they need support. Maybe it's for them. Or maybe it's for that mom, that single mom who just need a support group. Just saying, whatever it is, you got to be great at it. And you got to have a plan, right? It has to be a solid plan. Now, your plan isn't going to be like all these, these charts, and it can be simple. You got to make it simple for you. You got to make it simple for you. So again, I'm super excited for you to be joining me on August the 16th. I'm going to drop the link in the comments. You can sign up, grab your seat. I'll see you there. And remember this. Dee said, in order to be successful, you have to be insane about what your vision is. JT Fox. Absolutely. Remember this. If you don't believe in what it is that you're doing, how do you expect others to believe enough in it to buy what you're selling? And even if you're not selling anything, even if you're just wanting to make a difference in the lives of the other people, if you don't believe in that, how can they believe enough in you to buy what you're selling? D. Wilkins says, August 16th, Stephanie went, and me, yay. All right. Awesome. Awesome. So again, for my Facebook Live, LinkedIn, thank you all for tuning in. I really, really appreciate it. I know it's early, but again, the early bird gets the worm. You all have a wonderful day. And remember, time will do one or two things. It will promote you or demote you. Go hard as you can today. Maximize your time. Create them goals, right? Have a wonderful weekend. I'm your girl, Stephanie A. Wynn. Have a good afternoon, good morning. You can, I can. All you have to do is just try. That's right, Teresa. That's right. That's right. You got to just try. And don't stress yourself out. Y'all have a wonderful weekend. Bye.